In this my channel, I want to solve this exponential problem where you have x to the power of x is equal to 4 to the power of 2x plus 64. So I before I begin, let me appreciate my subscribers and also people that view my channels, and I appreciate every one of you. I also appreciate new subscribers to my channel. Thank you. Please also do well as you watch the viewers. Please do well to subscribe, like, make your comments, and also share this video. Thank you. So now let's begin this problem now. So the problem is x to the power of x is equal to 4 to the power of 2x plus 64. Now, according to the law of indices, you have b to the power of m plus n equal to b to the power of m times b to the power of n. So we're going to apply this rule in this place. We're going to apply it at the right hand side. So now we have x to the power of x is equal to 4 to the power of 2x times 4 to the power of 64. Now we need to now arrange this expression, this exponential equation, in the form that the variables will be on one side while the constant will be on one side. So for us to do that, there is a variable that is on the right hand side which we are going to remove, and there is no constant here. So what we're going to do is we're going to divide both sides by this variable, this expression that has variable on it. So for us to do that, we'll divide both sides by 4 to the power of 2x, 4 to the power of 2x. Now this will cancel out this. You have 4 to the power of 2x will cancel out 4 to the power of 2x. Now we are left with this expression. Now applying this rule also to this particular term, you have like 4 to the power of mn equal to 4 to the power of m all to the power of n. So applying it to this expression here, we now have x to the power of x divided by 4 to the power of 2 all to the power of x is equal to 4 to the power of 64. Now, so the next question will now be x to the power of x all over 4 to the power of 2 all to the power of x is equal to 4 to the power of 64. Let's see. Okay. Now, this expression will now, it now implies that this expression will now be x to the power of x all over 4 to the power of 2 is 16. So 16 to the power of x is equal to 4 to the power of 64. So according to the law of indices, if the exponentials are the same, just like if you say you have a to the power of x divided by b to the power of x, this whole thing will be a all over b in parentheses all to the power of x. So you have something like this. So that is what we're going to apply here now. We're going to apply this rule here. So we now have x divided by 16 all to the power of x is equal to 4 to the power of 64. Now, having done this, we can now divide We can now divide the powers by a particular value. So now what we do to this other side, we also do it to this other side. So what we're going to do is we divide, we now have x all over 16 raised to power x raised to the power 1 all over 16. Then now this is 4 to the power of 64 raised to the power of 16 to the power of 16 to the power of 16. See, this expression here is the same thing here, because since the powers are raised to the same value, it will still remain the same. So now what we are going to have on the right hand side will be x or divide by 16 all to the power x times 1 all over 16 will give you x all over 16. This will now be 4. 64 times 1 all over 16 will give you 4. 64 divided by 16. 64 times 1 all over 16 is 64 divided by 16, which is 4. Now you have x to the power of 16 to the power x all over 16 to the power of x all over 16 is equal to 4 to the power of 4. So now, according to the law of indices, where you have a to the power of b is equal to, okay, let's say, let me say for instance, you have a to the power of a equal to b to the power of b. So now this implies that a is equal to b. That is implication, because since the exponentials are the same, here a is raised to power a, b is raised to power b, and now it means that a is equal to b and a is equal to b on this other side. So it is only on that case where this whole thing will be equal. So now on that ground, we will now say x all over 16 is equal to 4. So now multiply both sides by 16. We will now have x all over 16 times 16 equal to 4 times 16. This will give us 16 will cancel 16. We have x is equal to 64. So 64 is the answer. Now x is equal to 64. Let's verify here. You have x raised to power x is equal to 4 raised to power 2x plus 64. Now if x is 64 raised to power 64 is equal to 4 to the power of 2 times 64 plus 64. Now you have 64 raised to power 64 is equal to 4. Now if you check this up here, you have 64. So 64 is common. We factor it out. You factor it out, you have 64 into 2 plus 1. Now you now have 64 to the power of 64 is equal to 4 to the power of 3 times 64. Now, according to the law of indices, where you have a to the power of m n is equal to a to the power of m, all in parentheses to the power of n. So now, applying that rule here, you have 64 to the power of 64 equal to 4 to the power of 3 all to the power of 64. Now, you now have 64 to the power of 64 equal to, so what we're doing here, we are checking the results. So 4 to the power of 3 all to the power of 64. So you have 64 to the power of 64. 4 to the power of 3 is 64. So to the power of 64. So now you have, this is the final answer. This is the equation. It shows that it's the same. So it's okay. Okay. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel. Like, make your comment, and also share the video. Thank you.